The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, or better known as NHTSA, has put out an article out there that says that there's actually 78,392 accidents per year that are caused by having a blown tire. Out of all those accidents, there is actually 10,275 injuries that come from that, and a sad number being that 400 of those injuries lead to death. And that being said, the tire being a person having a blown tire is not a matter of if, but it's a matter of when. Now we're never really expecting this to happen, but are you ready when this happens to you? Now, to introduce myself, I'm Christian Medill. I am the ag mechanic teacher here at West Columbia High School. Uh, Today, I want to teach you guys how to change tires if you have a blown tire. Uh, I've kind of done a little bit of everything from rebuilding the transmission all the way to just tinkering with cars just for the heck of it and having fun with it. I have a deep passion that goes for messing with vehicles, of teaching individuals how to work on vehicles. And my goal today is kind of teach you how to do this if you're ever in this situation. Now, Nicole Spector, she wrote an article on NBC one time, and on her research that she's found that 40.8% of the people she surveyed either are not confident or have no clue at all how to change a tire. My goal of this video is to change those statistics and let you know that you can do this, and it's not a very hard task. It's just you have to learn what you're doing. Now we're going to get started off. The best way to know about it is getting to know your tools. Everybody should know the tools prior to doing this. Now the number one thing that is not a requirement to change a tire, but is highly encouraged by myself and many auto heads or gear heads, as we like to call ourselves, the big thing being an emergency to-go kit. This pack, you can get this on Amazon, Walmart, any hardware store, anything that you need. Now it comes very basic kit. It comes with the jumper cables in case if your car ever, the battery ever dies on it. It comes with a poncho and some first aid like band-aids and stuff if you have an accident while you're out there or it's raining or something. Now the next thing that is on there is flashlight. Because let's say your tire blows out and it's 10 or 11 o'clock at night, it's dark, you're going to need a flashlight to see. Now the most important part of this kit for changing a tire actually is the gloves. Now, when you blow a tire, you don't know what to expect. For one, your tires are dirty. They're disgusting. If you ever gone by and just swipe your tire, your hands will have black soot on them. You don't want that if say you're on your way to college and you have to look presentable for a project presentation. Well, you're going to want some gloves so you're not looking all nasty when you show up. Also, there is metal spikes that are inside your tires, inside the rubber, holding the rubber together. That this kind of just gives you an extra layer of protection. It's not going to protect you from everything, but it is a great start. Now let's get into the actual tools that are required for changing the tire. Now there is a wide variety on how to change the tire with different tools. The ones I'm going to use today is a four-way. This is used for breaking your lug nuts. When I say breaking your lug nuts, that's breaking the seal and just unloosening and tightening your lug nuts that hold your tire onto your vehicle. This is usually an aftermarket product. This is something I love. You can easily get torque on it and stuff with the different angles. Now, the one that comes pretty standard in every vehicle is a tire iron. This is very basic, simple stuff. It comes with almost every vehicle that you have, along with a jack. And usually, depending on what vehicle you have, has a little bar in there to help you crank the jack up. These are wonderful. I'm just not using it today due to the fact that I love the four-way and I have it available that I am going to use that. Next being, we need to talk about jack. There's plenty of different jacks and there's a whole bunch of different styles to go with. The jack, as you can see down here, I'm using the red hydraulic jack. You also have, like in this right here, which is used for one of our larger vehicles, is a bottle jack that is a lot heavier rated. Then you have the standard jack that comes in most of your vehicles. It's as simple as twisting this bolt, and as you can see, it raises up, and if you lower it, it goes down. It's very simple stuff, but if you don't know what you're doing, it's going to be difficult. So, according to Bridgestone Tires, which is a well-known tire company, in the article on how to change a tire, they say it's very simple if you make a list. Now, we're going to go park up the side of the road. So get yourself to a safe spot. Now, next, also turn your emergency hazard lights on while you're doing this to let anybody know that you're in an emergency and they need to watch out for you. Next, get all your tools laid out next to the vehicle, as I have most of them laid here. The only thing that I have separate is the tire, the spare tire. You have your spare tire, roll it over next to the vehicle so it's ready when you're ready for it. So, the first step of actually changing the tire is going to, while the tire is on the ground, you want to break the lug nuts. The reason you want to do this is because if it's up in the air, the tire is just going to keep spinning. So right now I'm going to show you how to break the lug nuts. All you do is put your tire iron or your four-way on the lug nut and you turn it. Spin it until the lug nut is loosened where you can easily turn it by hand. At this point, you'll do this to every single one of your lug nuts. You'll just go around, break them. All you do is quick twist so it's easier to twist by hand. Go all the way around. And that step's already done. The next step that you'll need to do is find a great spot or a good spot that is attached to your frame to locate your jack. I have done this already to save us some time, but it's right under this door frame. Your frame of your car runs down, and you want to put your jack on that. You'll take your jack and you will just simply tighten this bolt down here. So you're raising it, put your handle back into the place, and start pumping it up. You want to pump it up until your tire is completely off the ground. You want no part of your tire touching the ground, so it's easier for you to raise the tire off there in a very simple way. As you can see at this point, my tire is pretty much off the ground. I will go into the next step, which is removing your lug nuts from the vehicle. I'm going to take all these lug nuts off. Due to the time restraints, I am going to use a tool that is used in most common shops, Impact. You can take these off by hand. This just speeds things up a little bit, so you're not having to fight it on trying to get it off. Now that you have all your lug nuts off, you want to put them in a safe spot. Now, if you're on the side of the road, you're not going to have a little bench and stuff by you. So what I recommend doing is taking your lug nuts and setting them right behind the tire, right there on the ground, where they're all in the same spot. Then, the next step is simply just removing the tire. The tire is off now at this point. Now, something that is not required, but I highly encourage it, is you don't know if that jack is going to slip out or if we're going to have incidents of somebody splashing by. Now, I like to take my tire and simply lay it on the ground under your axle, just in case if it falls, it's falling on your tire and it's not falling on your jack or on the ground. Because then, if it's falling on the ground, there's no way for you to get a jack back under there to lift it back up. At this point, you can see that we have completed half the task of removing the tire. All we have left is putting the tire back on. Now, there's two different types of tires that you can have. You can have a donut, which is a lot smaller version of your tire, or you can have a full-size spare. Now, if you have a donut, be careful because a donut is just a quick fix to get you from point A to point B in an emergency situation. You have about 50 miles on a donut that you can travel after putting this onto your car. You don't want to travel much more than that because it's not rated to go that far. It's rated just to get you from where you're at to where you need to go to get the proper fix done. Now, we are going to put this on the car because this is what most vehicles have inside their vehicle. Very rarely do you see a normal size car with a full-size tire on. So, the big thing is you want to line these up onto your studs. You'll sit there and you'll put these on your studs and you'll just slide it on. Sometimes it takes a little bit of finessing and wiggling it on there. At this point, your tire's on, you just ain't got the bolts on. So, let's go ahead and put your lug nuts back on. We're going to take these lug nuts that we placed to the side, and we are simply just going to hand tighten these back on. You don't gets off the ground. So let's wait until we get back a little bit of pressure on the ground, just so we can make it a little bit easier on ourselves. The tire's not spinning, and make it a lot easier on ourselves. The more you do this, the easier it gets, the faster it gets as you go on doing it, because you get more comfortable with it all. Again, for time restraints, I am going to go ahead and just put these on barely, and I'm going to set them down a little bit closer with my impact since I am here in the shop. So typically you just, like I said, you just use hand tightening those bolts down. We're almost there. So the next part is you want to remove this tire, this extra, the bag tire that you had. Remove it from back beyond. Get it out of the way because we want to start to lower our car down. You don't want to put the full weight of the vehicle on because your lug nuts aren't all the way on yet. So simply we're just going to lower it down very slowly by taking it off and relieving the pressure of the hydraulics very softly, just so we have a little bit of weight on the tire. At this point, you'll put the handle back into the jack, and then you'll grab either your tire iron or your 4-way, which my bolts are 13/16. I'll find my 13/16 4-way, and I will tighten it down. You crank it on. You don't want to go straight across. You want to do like a little star. Imagine that you're drawing a star. So I start at one point, I'm going diagonal. I'm going all the way down, and I'm tightening. Now I'm going across. Not going to the next one. I'm skipping. I'm tightening. Not going to the next one. Again, skipping across like I'm drawing a star, a 5-point star, and I'm simply tightening it down. And then I go to the last one. Again, sink it down. Now, since we are driving on a donut, I personally like to go around and hit them all again to make sure that everyone's tight. And you literally just skip the ground like you're making a star again. Same pattern. Hit everyone one last time to snug it up. And there we go. Our spare tire is now tightened down. All we have left is to take your jack, and lower it the rest of the way. Do it very slowly. Do not put a whole lot of weight on. Don't stop really fast because then you take a risk of damaging either your strut or whatever is wrong with the tire, or just at least popping the tire. At this point, you can go ahead and clean up all your stuff. You're ready. We want to get you back to the shop to get you kind of cleaned up and situated, get the tire fixed that has popped. But that's pretty much all there is to it. Now, I hope that you felt that you learned something from this. Again, this is not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. You always want to be prepared, always take precaution, always have the tools on hand so you're ready when you're hit with this adversity. Now, you guys, thank you for watching, and you guys have a blessed day.